Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. Okay, so this is it. This is the game changer. This is CUBASIS 2.4 update. This is incredible. Now you're going to be able to use your AU MIDI plugins, which at the moment is the Rozeta suite. You really only need the Rozeta suite. I'm going to put that link in. It's a separate app you're going to need to buy if you've got CUBASIS and you're on iOS 11 and you want to do what's about to be done. You're going to really need the Rozeta MIDI suite by Brand Boss because it's incredible. It's a suite of apps. It's one purchase and it contains, well, I'll show you what it contains in a sec. Anyway, so now that you can use AU MIDI plugins in CUBASIS and record them as well, this changes the game for loads of stuff because previously really only worked in AUM, and while AUM is still amazingly brilliant, CUBASIS has now got that functionality that we can do that. So what we're going to need to do, now there's certain things that are important here, okay? So you need to pay attention. I'll put links in the description for CUBASIS. Most of you have already got it probably. And also the Rozeta MIDI suite and any other app that's featured in here. Please use my link. I get a small commission from Apple. Right, here we go. First of all, completely blank project, right? Set up your add MIDI, okay, as normal. All right, open this up now, and you will see here now it says MIDI Effects, okay? It didn't say that previously. There is another big change as well. Also, CUBASIS now fully integrates with the File app as well, but we can get into that in another video. That's a big thing as well. Anyway, here we go. So we need to select our instruments here, or here. Choose this. We can go back to instruments, and we can go back. So we find audio units here. And what we're going to do is choose one of our audio unit instruments, okay? So I'm going to start with another Brand Boss app, Troublemaker. And I'm going to choose a factory preset here. I don't know what could be. Anything rubber we'll choose. Okay. So there you go. So, I mean, at the moment, that's not making any sound at all, obviously, because when I'm playing it, if I switch the keys on, that's the sound of the instrument sort of thing. So what we're going to do now is go to our MIDI effects here, and we're going to go tap to add effects. Now here, it says none because there's none selected. And then it says Brand Boss. And where it says Rozeta, arpeggio, bassline, cells, collider, LFO, particles, rhythm, XOX, XY. They're all the AU MIDI plugins. They're your effects, your MIDI plugin effects, basically. And that's all there is at the moment. There are no others. Okay, so where all these are crossed off, they won't work. They have nothing to do with an AU MIDI effect. I'm pretty sure that now people will start to build more MIDI effects. Anyway, what we're going to do is start off with a Brand Boss Rozeta bassline like this. Okay, and then the first thing you want to do is hit this little icon here and choose a key that you want to work in. So I'm going to use minor pentatonic, and I'm going to choose A minor pentatonic here, and I'm going to generate, and that's generated a pattern. It says 8 steps here. We could knock this up to 16 or whatever we want. Okay, that's fine for now. So what will happen now if I press play? That's playing my my Troublemaker. So I'm going to set this to 4 bars, and I'm going to have it loop. So it just keeps going round and round and round like this. Then I'm going to go to Troublemaker. Make some adjustments to the sound. Now also, if I hit read and write, I've now recorded all my movements as well, so you can record your automation too. Okay, so what we're going to do next is add something else. So add MIDI And then I'm going to choose here, instruments, and I'm going to go to classic machines, and I'm going to go to LD2 classic. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn that down for now because this information is important now. So now let's select LD2 classic and let's tap to add an effect. And let's add, now there are two drum generators here. Brand Boss Rozeta Rhythm and Brand Boss XOX. XOX, I'll show you in a sec, looks like a proper drum machine. Let's choose Rhythm. Now you see it's scanning along there. Same thing again. We can put stuff in, like we can just enter notes. Well, let's choose a generate, and we can select or deselect the channels we want. I'm going to generate for everything, so we hit that. Right. Doesn't sound much like the drum machine, does it? Right. So this is important for you guys, right? Go into your XOX, your rhythm, sorry, Rozeta Rhythm or XOX or whatever you're in. We don't need to have that there. And you see this little star above the MIDI. There's your MIDI settings there. Okay. But that little star, hit that. And this is where Bram has mapped different instruments to his MIDI sequences. However, we know, well, I know that the classic machines and Cubasis uses general MIDI. So going in here, we can look. If you've got any of these, this is what he's done already. Okay, but we're just going to hit on general MIDI. So, and we're done. So what we'll do is we're going to add another one to demonstrate that effect again. So we'll add another MIDI track here. We can go to our instruments there this time. We can go back. Audio units again. And we'll go this time, we'll find so there we have our MV Studio. And what we're going to do is open up a MIDI Effects for this. Make sure it's selected, of course. Add effect, and then we need to add I'll tell you what, this time we'll use the XOX. Now you can see that looks more like a drum machine. And again, if I generate a pattern here like this, generate and play, well, actually that's pretty good already. But if we look at the actual settings here, better. Choose the correct one and not general MIDI. And if we don't like that, of course, we can just keep generating until we are happy. And on we go until you're happy. Now, here's the cool beans thing, right? We can record that information. So I'm going to leave this set on loop. I'm going to set my, well, I'm not even going to, yeah, I'm going to set my metronome to counting. But I'm going to record all three at the same time. Okay, so, because it's easier to do it like this. And then I'm going to show you some other very, very cool beans stuff you can do. So let's start this to record. So let's do the counting. Now you'll see that it's recorded all that. Now the most important thing to remember now is that your MIDI sequences are still triggering those instruments in exactly the same way. Okay? So first of all, the best thing to do, now because they're going over the top of the MIDI notes that you've just recorded sort of thing. So you do not need these no more. Okay? You can take them away. from the instrument, and you're done with them. Okay. So that's it. It's done. Your MIDI effects are now clear because you've already recorded the MIDI data in, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. So like. And so a point of fact that what you could do now is say have Troublemaker selected, then add another MIDI track underneath of it, and then you could say choose. I don't know. Let's see. This morning pad thing. I don't know how this will sound actually because it's a pad sound. But then you could just select this one, and let's just do this. Let's just copy that one and paste it there, and then let's drag this MIDI track down onto here. Like this. So we've duplicated our MIDI. So we have 2 MIDI tracks now. So morning pads will play exactly the same thing as Troublemaker did. So you've got that. Okay, so but what you could then do, right, is you could go, right, all right, well, I want to make Troublemaker more interesting, or I want to make morning pad more interesting. Doesn't really matter. What you can do then is you can then add another MIDI effect over the top of your MIDI you've got recorded. But let's try a completely different effect. So let's add a Rozeta cells. Okay. Oh, let's add a collider. Okay. So now we've got a Hadron collider also playing Troublemaker over the MIDI that was recorded from the bassline. So. And let's change the sound of Troublemaker. Now, the thing is, we've got all these going, and we're actually still not using a great deal of CPU. We can also now, since we've recorded our MIDI data, now let's record our MIDI data over the top of Troublemaker. Let's solo Troublemaker now. And that's been... Let's record that MIDI data over the top of that as well, so... So we don't need that anymore neither. What you could then do as well also, you could take that piece of MIDI that's over the top of that and you could stick it there. Okay, so you could build up then further instances of the track. So let's see, what would it sound like now if we just played it as it is? All this will drop out, obviously. And then we could say just copy, paste, chop, 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 add more and more. And then what we can do also as well, let's just see, we can see all this. We can just freeze everything now and save on huge amounts of CPU. Can freeze that and all, and then we can freeze that one and all. And now we're hardly using anything. And what I would do, because I'd be relatively happy, is I'd just start to delete the actual instrument tracks, the grayed out ones now that I really don't need. So I'm just left with my 4 audio tracks, basically, so like that. It's incredible. It really is. Like I said, you can, what you've got now in your effects. If anybody's interested, and they're not really aware of the Rozeta suite. I've done lots and lots of videos. Lots of people have done lots of videos. Just type in Brand Boss Rozeta or the Sound Test Room Rozeta, and you'll come across lots of videos I did for it in AU. All that functionality is now available in CUBASIS. It's just, your imagination now is not, you're only limited by things that you can do, because don't forget also, after you have all this stuff running, you can automate everything, of course, but you can also then just start to add, any other effects that you want to add. Your AUs, your interapps, but it's such a marvelous thing. I think this is a fabulous, fantastic update. And I really think I think Bram's going to sell a lot more Rozeta suites, that's for sure. And I think that more and more people are going to get on board with CUBASIS. I think it's just epic. Anyway, guys, many thanks for watching. Like I said, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron. I'm sure that I will be doing lots more AU MIDI sequencer stuff inside CUBASIS when more things become interesting to me, and I'll go, oh, right, that's nice, I'll share that sort of thing. Anyway, you'll get the basic idea. You're pretty much good to go now. And of course, don't forget, it don't just play the AU, it play all your instruments inside CUBASIS, like your acoustic pianos or any instruments, like you said, the morning pads. You can just copy paste, you can build new ones. You can just do as much as you like. Anyway, top job. I'll see you later. Awesome.